The Luka Doncic Anthony Davis situation makes no sense. LeBron James was Morpheus, and Anthony Davis was supposed to be Neo, the chosen one to lead Los Angeles into the future. But it looks like Rob Pelinka decided that Luka Doncic is the one. By now, you've heard the news. Luka Doncic is a Laker and Anthony Davis is a Maverick. Wild, right? How we got here is a story in itself. Not too long ago, AD was talking with Shams, doubling down on how he and LeBron were still locked in on chasing another championship.
I feel like I've always been at my best when I've been the 4. And having the big out there, we know it worked when we won the championship with JaVale and Dwight. At the 5 and I'm at the 4.
AD clearly thought the Lakers weren't far off. In his mind, all they needed was a solid center to slide him back to the 4, and boom, a clear path back to the finals. Well, guess what? He got his wish, just not the way he pictured it, because he won't be playing with this guy anymore. It'll be this guy. Now, don't get it twisted. Derek Lively is an up-and-coming stud in the league, a 7-foot freak athlete with serious defensive chops. But let's be real, that's a far cry from what AD had in mind. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the NBA. There's been endless talk about the league's declining viewership, with opinions flying from every angle. But one thing's clear, people just don't care about the regular season like they used to. And honestly, it's exhausting hearing the back in my day crowd ramble on how things were when MJ was soaring through the air or when Shaq was stuffing dudes and the ball into the rim. Apparently the NBA, oops my bad, Dallas Mavericks care so much about the fans, maybe not their own, that they decided to single-handedly boost viewership with the most shocking trade in NBA history. But shocking trades aren't exactly new. Some of y'all might be too young to remember, but seeing Sixers icon Allen Iverson in a Denver Nuggets jersey felt like stepping into the Twilight Zone. AI meant everything to Philly. He revived the franchise in ways they hadn't seen since Dr. J was gliding through the air. He won an MVP, dragged the Sixers to the finals, and even handed the Dynasty Lakers their only loss of that playoff run. And yet, the Sixers traded him away for 2 first-round picks and a couple of solid vets. The trade hit so hard, they had to bring him back for a farewell tour before he retired. And then there's Dwight Howard. Believe it or not, when he was traded to the Lakers, he was supposed to be the next in line of legendary big men in purple and gold. At one point, Dwight was easily a top 5 player in the league, a defensive menace, rebounding machine, and an athletic freak straight out of high school. D12, for those who know, was Orlando's golden ticket, bringing life back to a franchise that hadn't tasted real success since the Shaq and Penny days. Dwight's the only player in NBA history to win 3 straight Defensive Player of the Year awards, and he cemented his greatness by leading the Magic to the finals, taking down a young LeBron James along the way. Sure, he lost to Kobe, but destiny had a plot twist. Just 3 years later, he found himself as Kobe's teammate. The Lakers gave up a haul for Dwight. 3 first-round picks, 2 second-rounders, and a boatload of players. Quick shout out to Nikola Vucevic, still in the league doing his thing. Also, real quick, I put a ton of effort into these videos, so if you're feeling the content, hitting that subscribe button would be super appreciated. Now, back to Anthony Davis. The Lakers traded AD to give LeBron the superstar teammate he needed to win the chip. Mission accomplished. But it came at a cost. Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, the number 4 pick in the 2019 draft, plus 2 more first rounders. Notice a pattern here? That's the going rate for superstar players. So how in the world did Luka Doncic get traded for just 1 first-round pick? Look, we love Anthony Davis. As a player, he's easily a top 7 talent in the world, arguably the best defender in the league. But AD plus Max Christie, who's got a bright future, plus a first-round pick for Luka Doncic, that's laughable. Let's keep it simple. Here's the first 7 years of Luka's career. All-star selections, all-NBA selections, all first team by the way, and a consensus MVP candidate every season. Now, we'll take a screenshot of this and compare it to the first 7 years of some other guys you might have heard of. If it's not obvious yet, the numbers don't lie. Luka Doncic is on a trajectory to be one of the greatest players of all time. At this stage of his career, Luka is producing at an elite tier level. Michael Jordan, widely considered the GOAT, looked like this in his early years. LeBron James, who's got his own legion of GOAT supporters, looked like this in his young days, and honestly in some of his older days too. So if Luka's on a trajectory reserved for only the greatest to ever play the game, why would the Mavericks trade him before he even hits his prime? Well, the Mavericks GM stepped up to explain. I believe that defense wins championships. I believe that getting an all-defensive center and an all-NBA player with a defensive mindset gives us a better chance. We're built to win now and in the future. I'm sorry they're frustrated, but it's something that we believe in as an organization. It's going to make us better. We believe that it sets us up to win, not only now, but also in the future. And when we win, I believe the frustration will go away. Confident? Definitely. Convincing? Well, that's up to Mavericks fans. Curious to see if that statement actually helps them back away from the ledge. Harrison clearly values defense. And up to this point, Luka Doncic and defense have been like oil and water. In his first finals appearance, his defensive intensity was, let's just say, sporadic. It felt like every time Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown had the ball with Luka in front of them, they imagined there was literally no one there. They attacked him nonstop like he was just a cone in a training drill. But to Luka's credit, because he's a great player, he took that personally. A little embarrassed? Maybe. Either way, in Game 4, he flipped the switch and was playing defense like a madman. They tried running those same isolations, but this time, Luka said no mas. We imagine this playing out in his head. Oh, you think you have a lane? No, you don't. Drew Holiday, I know you're known for defense, but today, I'm the defender. Another ISO, Drew? Cool, but you kind of need the ball to score. And Tatum, guess what? You're not the only one who's 6'8". Jaylen Brown, up what? Yeah. First team all-defense Game 4 edition. If anything, Game 4 should have told the Mavericks that Luka is capable of playing defense. Now, is he about to turn into Davion Mitchell, picking dudes up full court? Obviously not. But he's just 25, which means there's still plenty of time for him to improve. Clearly though, the Mavericks had very little faith that Luka could make those necessary gains. On top of that, there were alleged concerns within the organization about his conditioning and weight. Well, this is awkward. The man did just close out the Timberwolves in impressive fashion. It was just one, and in front of his pops like that? Luka's never been viewed as a small guard, but he's been extremely effective regardless. In the Mavs defense though, we've seen how superstars can struggle with weight, leading to injuries that derail careers. Use case number 1, Zion Williamson. Zion was supposed to be the heir apparent to LeBron James. Maybe not in terms of play style, but definitely in terms of mass appeal. A high flyer with freakish athleticism and the kind of flair that draws fans in. Unfortunately, weight's been an issue for Zion ever since he entered the league. In his 5 years, he's played less than 50% of his games. To be fair, those beignets? Tough to eat just one. Then there's Joel Embiid. He's an MVP, no doubt, but even he can't handle back-to-backs anymore because of his ongoing battle with injuries. Maybe situations like Zion's and Embiid's made Dallas pause and think twice. We'll never really know. What we do know is this: everyone was stunned. Even LeBron James, the guy often viewed as the puppet master behind every Lakers move, was completely blindsided by the trade. Anthony Davis? So in the dark that he was busy congratulating the Lakers on an impressive win in New York without him, while his name was being thrown into trade talks. And that's what makes this so interesting. The Lakers were actually starting to look like a team. Guys like Max Christie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Jared Vanderbilt gave them a real defensive identity on the wing. Add a healthy Anthony Davis back into the mix, and suddenly the Lakers look like a team that can make some serious playoff noise. But this trade, it proved that Rob Pelinka is thinking bigger. He's prioritizing the future. And to be fair, how surreal must it be to have the Mavericks show up on your doorstep, offering a consensus top 4 player in the world, a 25-year-old superstar fresh off of an NBA Finals run. All you have to give up is a promising 3-and-D guy, a first-round pick, and with all due respect to Anthony Davis, a star who's turning 32 and has had his own battles with injuries. That's the kind of deal that's hard to pass up. The biggest question is, what happens now? One thing's for sure, Anthony Davis and Derek Lively are about to form a no-fly zone in the front court. Think Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, but Super Saiyan. And the Kyrie Irving-Anthony Davis pairing, flat out fun to watch. Which brings us to the Lakers. Let's get this out the way. Their interior defense might be a clown show. Anthony Davis anchored everything for them defensively. But offensively, that's where things get spicy. You've got a 40-year-old LeBron James who looked like 25, well, maybe 32-year-old LeBron at MSG. Now he's paired with a real 25-year-old phenom who just led his team to the finals. To be fair, there's some obvious redundancies. They both thrive with the ball in their hands, and unfortunately, there's only one ball. But adding Luka gives the Lakers the 2 best offensive generators in the NBA. And while no one's ever mistaken LeBron for a spot-up shooter, he's quietly become, dare we say, elite from deep these last few seasons. Not to mention, LeBron's always loved Luka's game. And on the flip side, Luka has always admired LeBron. So now we got a new love fest in LA. The biggest thing, Luka Doncic is going to be on a mission. He was just disrespected in the most public way possible. A finals run at 25 wasn't good enough. Bet. We don't know what the future holds, but one thing's for sure, Luka's going to be must-see TV. Appreciate y'all for watching the video. If you want more content like this, drop a comment. We'll see you in the next one.